Hey, what's up, guys? It's Mike here from Liberty Armor, General Manager over here, and I am sitting with our Chief Shooting Instructor, Paul White with tac-p Solutions. And right now we have a few pistols that have all been cleared, and we're going to go over some that are good for concealed carry, whatever multi-purposes you may have in mind. So, Pablo.
Yo, what's up, Mike?
All right, let's go over what we got right here. And
we have a couple different guns. We have the Glock. This is the 43. We have the Springfield XD Mod 2. We have the SIG Equinox. Your Glock 19 Gen 4. This is a SIG 220.
Yeah.
Your SIG 320. And your H&K VP9.
Now, Paul, I got a couple of questions. As far as customers, when they come in to buy a pistol, what are some things that you're seeing a lot when people are taking your classes for your LTC? What are things that people are missing and not thinking about before they buy a firearm?
Are we talking about males or females?
Let's talk about females first, because there's a lot of myth that goes with that.
Okay. With the females, it's kind of different monkey. You want to make sure, for instance, for any gun, how does the grip feel? Can the female reach the magazine release? Can they rack the slide appropriately? Where is the distance between the first knuckle and the tip of the index finger? Where are they going to carry it at? Do they have kids? And if they have kids, do they want a striker fired, or do they want something that has a hammer on it? Do they want a manual safety? So with the females, you have to get a little bit more intricate with why and what they want and for what reason. Is it going to be a purse gun, or is it going to be a house gun, or a combination?
See, and I think it's good to go over this stuff, especially with your expertise in this field, because a lot of women out there are swayed by what their boyfriend or husband carries. So
Correct.
Either they're afraid to ask, or they don't know what to ask, or simply are just conditioned to think the way he does when she doesn't dress like him, and she doesn't carry the extra bag, and obviously doesn't have kids probably most of the time like she does.
Well, when you look at, to be perfectly honest, and not to be rude to you guys, but the only thing that the guy should be here for is to pay for it. The female is the one that needs to be comfortable with the gun. She needs to train with the gun. The husband should not, or boyfriend should not, pick out a gun for their spouse or girlfriend. Why? Because at the end of the day, who's going to get shot first on that burglary or home invasion? It's going to be the male. So we want our female counterpart to be comfortable with the gun, to be able to go into the range without that support, that male friend, and train and shoot and be comfortable, make her own mistakes, and learn from her mistakes once she gets some good training.
And caliber, as far as what fits perfect for that person, advice, what would you give to the woman to find out what fits her as far as recoil management?
I would stick with a 9mm. It has a knockdown power with the correct round. They can get more rounds off steadily. I would not go up to a 40 or 45, and that's even for a male, unless they shoot and they actually know what they're doing. And that's the problem with males, is sometimes they don't want to back off of that large caliber because of the machoism. But would you want to be able to shoot multiple rounds consistently, or would you rather shoot a round every couple of seconds because you cannot manage recoil? So 9mm across the board.
What do you see as far as model do you recommend for somebody starting? Let's say for a woman who is interested in buying a concealed carry gun. Okay, she wants to carry it on her, but she's never shot nor carried a pistol ever in her life.
I would have to say a striker fire, meaning it's a weapon that has no manual safety, no hammer.
What about children?
Children, starting off with them, we normally start with a 22, depending on the kid's size and age. I have trained kids with a Glock 19. So with women across the board, it would be a striker fired because, for instance, on this Equinox, it has to be carried cocked and locked. Well, if that female is not used to shooting, she may forget to drop the safety.
Gotcha.
I have seen in certain situations in training with males, law enforcement officers, that when we get certain drills, they may forget to drop the safety.
Right.
And you don't have that, you're not afforded that kind of time frame when you're confronted with an assailant. So striker fired across the board.
How do you feel about somebody who's interested in carrying different types of models as far as concealed carry pistols? Let's say double action versus a double single.
You need to make sure that you're training with both if that's what you're going to do. I've had a lot of customers with multiple different types of guns, and then when they're in the back of the range, they're not understanding why this round may go here, that may round go there. It's because it's a different weapon system, different trigger press, different trigger pull. So you have to be comfortable across the board with any gun you have, but the gun that you actually carry, that's the main gun that you should be training with all the time.
And what about people that surf the internet, let's say YouTube, and they get the aficionados that are talking about guns and they have their own channel, and they're necessarily not talking from a defensive or a tactical angle, but they're just giving their personal opinion. How do you kind of take people out of that mind of thinking, hey, well, the guy on the tube said it, so that's what I should stick with?
It's just like buying a car. So everyone has their favorite car, just like everybody has their favorite gun. Until you go into the range with that particular weapon, it's okay to listen to YouTubes and Google this and Google that, but until you actually find the gun that you are comfortable with, I wouldn't listen to them. That's just me personally. Why? Because we have to look at a couple of things. Why is that person saying that for that reason? Are they getting paid?
Right.
For that advertisement? Are they getting some out of it? And not to say that they are, but let's be real about it. That person on that YouTube channel is not going to be in your house when you get broken into.
Correct, yeah.
So I would prefer, for instance, here at Liberty, for one fee, you can rent one gun, and if you don't like it, you bring it back and get another. So you can try multiple weapon systems out for one price. Gotcha. That's the true and honest way to feel and be comfortable with the weapon system.
Nice. So what we do have on the table, as far as taking a class with an LTC, and which is, we do it every other Sunday, I believe. Is that
every other Sunday?
So the LTC course requires 50 rounds, and of course, your Texas State ID. Somebody comes in and says, hey, I don't know what gun I want to use for the LTC course. I've never shot before, and they're taking it that day. What would you recommend or grab right out of the rental case that they want to go ahead to use for that?
Well, hopefully they would come in beforehand, but majority of the times they do come in without any knowledge, and part of the class is having that prior knowledge of weapons before you come in. If that were the case, they had no knowledge, I would probably say either the Glock 19, Glock 17, or the SIG 320, or the H&K VP9.
Awesome.
When you're dealing with a double single, you're dealing with now another hard trigger pull,
right? Like
on the 6 hour, and that tends, people do not know, hey, I need to stay on sights, and by pulling the trigger sometimes on that double may pull me off sights, and their rounds are not going what it's supposed to.
Speaking of sights, there's so many aftermarket companies that
Correct.
offer sights for all these pistols. What do you recommend? Factory, right out of the box, break it in, or get the sights on that you like, that are appealing to the eye? How would you recommend about going about that?
In all my training courses, and when people come talk to me about guns, I say stick with the sights that are on the gun. Learn the gun as is.
Okay. Don't
change anything out. Don't change any trigger poundage. Don't train the sights. Leave the gun as is until you shoot a comfortable fair amount of rounds through it. And then the one thing I would change out after that would be the sights. Our age and eyes, we're getting a little bit older, so we may not be able to see certain sights. We may have to put something with some color on it. So I would change the sights first and then worry about anything else. For example, on Glocks, you can change out the trigger pound, the connector.
Right.
Okay. If you're not comfortable with and have been training with the 5.5 pound connector that comes with it, okay, then change it. But get to know what it feels like first. That way you have a balance to kind of go between, okay, this what this feels like. Now right. I know better. But right out of the box, changing the connector could be a catastrophic incident waiting to happen.
So pretty much through trial and error process, then from that point it directs you into what you need.
Correct.
Nice. Cool, man. What's the website, Paul?
The website is tac-p-solutions.com.
Make sure you go on there and bother him, ask him a million questions. I'm sure he'd be glad to help you. I appreciate your time.
That'll work.
And he's here all the time at the Liberty Armory. Check us out, libertyarmory.com. I'm Mike, the manager here. We are here all the time. That's pretty much it, man. Thank you very much.
All right. Take care.
Hey guys, just want to thank you once again for checking this out. If you felt the video was informative, it can help yourself or somebody that you know who doesn't know anything or does know something about firearms, make sure you like, subscribe, and share by hitting the button down below and letting everybody else know, okay? TheLibertyArmory.com is the website. Check us out. We got more videos in the future coming your way. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.